We're going to start with a question from Carissa that I think is so wonderful. She says, for me, the biggest struggle is breaking lifelong habits of self-abuse. I am in a much better place than ever before, but I have a decade-old habit of taking responsibility for things that aren't mine to carry, taking on other people's shit, and mentally punishing myself for every minor mistake I've made. It is almost a knee-jerk response that still pops up and waylays my ability to be in my authentic expression of myself. I lost my place, sorry. There we go. Embodied has helped me make some big strides here, and I am seeing some existing shifts in these patterns. But I wonder if you can speak about ways to further step out of that impulse to throw myself under the bus, or is it simply a matter of time and practicing the work we have learned here until the new habits replace the old? So this is a really great question, because I feel like a lot of us have a habit of like either putting ourselves last or to even like harm ourselves, whether it's like mentally, physically overstretching ourselves, giving beyond our capacity for other people, and to let other people's needs, wants, expectations, desires to all come before ours. And in these ways, we create a habit of not allowing ourselves to come forward. So I think, yes, first, yes, your instincts are very good to keep practicing these new habits so that they replace the old. And it's really just the more you focus on it, right? The more your attention is on these new ways, the less room there is for the old ways. This is such a universal application of this concept, whether it's here or in other areas of our lives where we want something to shift. The more we put our attention, like literally like time wise, like more time spent in the new thing, then there's just less time and energy for the old thing, right? So it's like, I want to be running instead of smoking. I don't like, this are kind of like very opposite things, but so is this, I suppose. So if you're like, I want to be running instead of smoking, literally just the more you run, the less time you will have for smoking and the less you'll want to, because you'll notice the difference. And actually, this is a pretty good analogy now that I think of it, because as you move towards the running, right? I want to be running. I want to be practicing things that'll help me be better at running. I want to feel better while I'm running. I want it to be easier when I'm running, the less you'll want to do the bad things. And the more you do that, the more when you do these things, you'll be like, oh, this actually isn't that satisfying anymore. This actually doesn't work for me as much as it used to. This actually is hindering me from the thing I really want. And this isn't working, right? And so it brings that awareness, and also it just takes up more of the plate, right? The plate of your life is then occupied more by this experience of running, right? So your instincts are very good to keep doing the practices that you learned here, and they will start to shift and start to shift and start to shift. But one of the big things that I would also encourage you to do is to really start your days, start your, and start and restart is really what I mean. Start your days and then restart them as often as needed to be really centered in yourself. This is like the way to hold you as the main character in your life, right? Like, I belong to me. This life is mine. And to actually state that statement out loud, like, this life is mine. This life is Carissa's, right? To actually say it out loud. I'm going to choose for Carissa what Carissa does. This life is for Carissa. I'm going to choose for Carissa what Carissa does. And when you start your day that way, it's like, okay, I start empowered. Then maybe we like go along, it's going pretty well. And then, we're at work and oops, we accidentally threw ourselves under the bus for somebody else. Oops. Okay. We're just going to like catch that we did that, right? Notice, have awareness, not beat ourselves up for having done so. We're going to be like, oops, old habit. Okay. And we're going to pick ourselves up and we're going to state again, restart the day. And so I would encourage you to start and restart your day that way like as often as needed, and just picking yourself up along the way. And this practice will really help you keep coming back to center. Like, all right, I got me. All right, this is for me. All right, this life for me. This is it. Right. So that is where I would start or continue for you. Great question. Thank you for asking it.